Anytime you lose a football game, it's tough. It's tough for people who love Texas football. It's tough for the fans, administration, our faculty, especially when we've had the struggling time since the Nebraska game. It's something that we're unfamiliar with, and it's something that we obviously don't like. As hard as it is for all the other people I mentioned, just think about your coaches and your players. I mean, they die with every loss, and it's very difficult for them, and it's hard to fight back. And as you always know, sports fans and media get negative when you lose. That's fair. So the players have to handle all of that adversity, plus the coaches have to handle that adversity, and they have to turn around and try to win at the same time. At the difficult times, you still have to try to fix your problems. You can't get down. You can't lay around gripe. You can't feel sorry for yourself. You can't point fingers. You have to go back to work, and that's all you can do. And as much as you'd like to do some of the other, it's not productive. Obviously, when you got problems, you got to fix them, and that's what we're all trying to do. You stay upbeat, you stay demanding, and you work as hard as you can to get it fixed. Unlike the NFL, we can't have a waiver wire. So the players that we've got are the ones that we're going to keep working with. We tried to play a lot of the younger ones last week, and some played well, but you still want to win the game, and some didn't play as well as we had hoped. We have 2.5 weeks and 3 games to get some things fixed. All we can do is fight our guts out and try to keep working, understanding that as disappointed as we are, the players aren't going to quit. They didn't quit Saturday night, and the coaches aren't going to quit. We're going to keep working. Players actually played hard against Kansas State. It's hard to believe when the game turned out as bad as it did, but they didn't quit. They didn't give up. We just didn't play well. Anytime you lose 5 turnovers and you gain none, you're going to lose the game. I mean, usually if you lose 3 turnovers, you lose the game, much less 5. And we continue to turn the ball over in games like Iowa State and UCLA and now K-State and don't give ourselves a chance to win. Also, I thought Saturday night, probably more than ever before, field position was a key. Part of that was because of the turnovers, and the other part was the kicking game. The entire team's responsible for that, and the coaches as well. But at K-State, and this is hard to imagine, I felt it during the game, but I'm looking at the video Sunday this morning again, it's hard to imagine, but K-State, their first 5 scoring drives, 4 touchdowns and a field goal, averaged 23 yards, and the first 10 possessions started on the average of the Texas 30-yard line. So we gave ourselves absolutely no chance to win throughout the ball game. For the 3rd consecutive week, we've lost a game in which we own the advantage of first downs. We had 23 first downs to the Kansas State 11. And again, like last week, our total offense was 214 to 270. But it's obviously not about those 2 issues. Those are stats that are unimportant. The stats that matter are the ones with explosive plays, which we did a little bit better than they did in that area. Field position, where we were horrible, and turnovers, which we were horrible. So 2 of the 3 we were bad, and we gave up too many explosive plays to them, and still didn't get in the end zone like we need to in the red zone. Special teams, we lost all phases of the kicking game, and when you go on the road, you have to run the ball well. We didn't. You have to stop the run. We didn't. You have to win the kicking game. We didn't. And you have to win the turnover battle, and we didn't. So we didn't do the basic fundamental things that you have to have a chance to win, much less put yourself in a position in the 4th quarter to win. We kick off to the #1 kickoff team in the country, and they run it back 63 yards. 2 plays later, the guy that we've said all week is the guy we have to stop, runs off tackle and scores a touchdown in 2 plays. The offense has a good drive. They get it down to the 30-yard line. We got a 4th and 1. We fake a field goal. Snaps high. Goes right over Justin's hands. He really did a great job of getting back and falling on it, or they could have picked it up and run it back for a touchdown. So we didn't score in the kicking game. We didn't gain field position in the kicking game, and we didn't force a turnover in the kicking game. I did think the one bright spot is at least Adrian Phillips did manage punts throughout the night and didn't hurt us in that area, and we did block 1 punt. Obviously, we had a penalty on another one that led to a score. Defense, we didn't start the game right. As I said, the player we wanted to stop throughout the night goes off tackle, 2nd play of the game, and goes untouched for a touchdown. We gave up too many big plays again. We gave up a 34-yard run, a 17-yard run, a 22-yard run, a 20-yard run, and a 19-yard run. And that's with them being one-dimensional and knowing they were going to run the football. So we didn't stop the big play, and we still didn't force a turnover. Keenan Robinson did force the one fumble, and we did not get on it. We did have 5 3-and-outs. We did have 2 sacks. We held Kansas State on third downs, 2 out of 12, but they were successful 4 out of 5 times in the red zone. Played much better the second half than we did the first half. I don't know why we didn't start the game well. Offensively, you have 5 turnovers, you give your team no chance to win. And 3 of those turnovers were down in your own red zone area, and then you go back and throw an interception in your end zone that cost you points right before the half. I actually thought, as poorly as we'd played the first half, if we'd scored the touchdown right before the half, it's 24-7. We get the ball to start the second half, and we've actually got a chance to get back in the ball game. And then we throw the interception going in, and then we come back out and start the third quarter with a turnover. That's totally unacceptable, and we're sitting here right now, minus 12 in turnovers. The teams that win the national championship will probably be in the plus 20s. I remember when Florida and Oklahoma played, it was 22 and 23. I'm not sure what we were last year, but we're not going to win games till we quit turning the ball over, start stopping the big play, and start doing a better job in the kicking game. We did get to play a lot of the young guys, as I said. I am proud of the kids that they didn't quit. Most teams would have, with the adversity they've been under and the pressure they've been under. As many bad things as happened Saturday night. You see pro teams quitting. You see college teams quitting. The guys did try. And we watched every play very closely to make sure they tried. And we talked to them in the dressing room after the game and said the one thing that you do, if you lay around and quit now, it'll be something that you give in to, you'll do it the rest of your life. And what you do is you become a loser if you quit. You can lose football games and try to figure out how to straighten them out. But it's a part of your life that you don't want to have as a coach or as a player. Shockey Brown broke his arm. Hate for him. He's had a great career at Texas, and he's out for the year. And a tough way for him to end his senior year. Kyle Hicks played the first half and then had a head injury. Trey Newton played 8 plays, and he had a head injury, so they were taken out of the game. When that happens, the doctors now take them out. They do give them a battery of tests and will not let them go back in if they feel like that there's any chance that it might further damage them. If you've got any questions about the process, you could get with John, and he will get you with Kenny Boyd. I don't know the tests that they do, but I do know all they do is tell us Coach Trey's out for the game. In fact, I didn't know Shockey had broken his arm until after the game. They don't tell us that during the game because they feel like it's very upsetting to players on the sideline, obviously coaches, and they want to talk to their parents before they give that information out. And I think that as well. But Kyle and Trey will be monitored during the week and see what their status will be for the weekend. Aaron Williams has been cleared to come back, and Jackson Jeffcoat's got one of those ankles that just doesn't seem to get well. He didn't practice but very little last week, and in pregame again he couldn't push off. So I took him off the depth chart this week, and hopefully at some point here down the road he can get it well and help us at the end of the season. Mike Gundy's done a tremendous job with this team. It's really interesting that they were not supposed to be a good team this year. They were last year, and it got their injuries and kind of fell apart at the end of the season last year, and this year they've come back and they've done so well. Dana Holgerson came in as offensive coordinator, and they got 725 yards offense against Baylor last weekend. They're unbelievable with what they're doing. They've scored 65, 41, 65, 38, 54, 34, 41 in losing to Nebraska, 24 and 55 points. So they're third in the country in offense, but they're averaging 46 points a game, nearly 200 yards rushing, most of it Kendall Hunter. He's been unbelievable. He's averaging 6.1 yard per run. They're averaging 353 yards passing and about 450 yards total, or 550 yards total offense.